Hello, my name is Dominic Underhall-House and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. So in the new patch, we've already tried a attempt at a meta Zax list. We've tried an attempt at a sort of fairly meta or an aggressive sorry, Extilior list. So there's only one captain left, and it is the famed Astra. So in today's list, we're going to be looking at basically trying to play what I think is going to be a solid attempt at a meta Astra list. The reason I've gone for some of the picks is hopefully going to be evident quite simply. So, with Astra's new ability of Grow Cinder, I'm going to be doing this turn 1 every single game. The reason for that is on turn 1, it feels very, very safe. It's not going to be safe for the rest of the game. In the couple of practice games I played without this list with a different one, it felt like you could get it quite easily turn 1, but anything after that, you were putting it at risk if the opponent was willing to put themselves out there to do so. So I'm almost treating Grow Cinder as a one-time use unless something else comes up. So what I'm going to be doing is using Grow Cinder turn 1, and then turn 2, I'm going to be playing 2 units. So I'm not going to be playing any 4-drops. I'm not going for basically playing a big creature. Like, obviously we're playing a 4-drop like Tipu, but we're not playing them on turn 2 most of the time. What we're going to be doing is, depending on what the opponent plays, playing Taria Arsenal, Deadeye, and Beatris Enforcer. So these have become pretty much my go-to 3 units for the moment. The reason for this is Beatris is our defensive pick, so versus Maximus, who's obviously the one drop everyone's scared about, we need to have something that nullifies him a little bit. So with Beatris, she defends well. If we've got good placement, we can sort of ruin lines of sight for Maximus, and that means that he's going to be exposed. He's going to be leaving himself out in the open. If they try to shoot Beatris himself, she's got armor. She's not going to take any damage. Again, he doesn't move. So that's the main reason Beatris is here. She's also a bit of a brick wall. If you're ever looking to sort of slow the game down a little bit, Beatris is the way to go, in my opinion. Other than that, we've got a couple of follow-ups. So we've got Taria Arsenal and Deadeye. The reason for these, Taria Arsenal is, if you need to, the quickest way of getting 4 damage on the battlefield outside of using Blindside or Esli, so it's the quickest 4 range damage. So between her and 1 or 2 Astra attacks, we can take down almost anything by turn 3 that is going to be out on the battlefield. Deadeye's for a similar reason. It's a 2-power attacker, so most of the time we're not going to be using Taria's ability, we're going to be attacking, but also with a 1 Cinder ability to give an ally 40% accuracy. So in this list, we've not got many things that really benefit from it, but between Deadeye themselves and Taria, this is enough for me. This is the synergy that I want, is cheap early game units to trade off from the opponents, basically find ways of taking them out of the equation. Following up from that, we've got a couple of sort of classics with Astra. Tipu is a go-to because a surprise Tipu is the best Tipu. We've said this before, but basically being able to get that first buff to bring Tipu to being a 4/7 on something that can't attack back if you kill it, that's a really big deal. So that's something we're going to be looking at doing as well. And then, so there's talk about Toxoid today, about people not playing it as much. I think it still could be very good. It's not seen as much play because obviously Astra doesn't reinforce when you kill a unit anymore. However, just having the combination of basically 5 Cinder destroy an enemy unit, I think that's got a lot of play to it, because Toxoid attacks, takes that unit down to 1, Astra hits it, and then Astra gets to move again. I think that's really important because, especially now with Astra moving again, Astra is going to be putting herself in a vulnerable spot every time to be able to get close to this, so we need that extra move to run away. Switchback is here as just the standard finisher for an Astra list. Again, it's just, you can sometimes, if you've got enough Cinder, bring it down out of nowhere and get 6 damage with no pre-information for the opponent, which is really useful. And then also, Axl Pyro. So I think Axl Pyro is still currently underrated. We're seeing play for a while. This is our, following on from Beatris, our Neon Rave Axl Pyro. But Axl's really good in some situations where the opponent has multiple aggressive units. You can start clearing. It's essentially, it looks like 2 damage, but it's 3 damage minimum. And then it's 1, because it's 2 damage and then 1 the next turn. And then also 1 for the next 3 turns. So that's a huge amount of damage that's going to be able to come through. That actually essentially hits for 5. It's just a bit of a delay on there as well. I think Axl Pyro is really, really strong. Like, for a 1 Cinder ability, 1 damage for the next 3 turns means that something like where is it? Taria Arsenal, there we go, with 5 health, can be killed by 1 activation eventually. It just takes a bit of time. So this is what we're going to be looking at doing. I think I'm going to pick the Let's pick the Cinder Glow here. Actually, no, let's go Lightning because we're going to be coming in fast with the Into the Breach. So that's what we're going with this list. I'm really looking forward to playing it. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this too. And let's jump in and see if we can get a couple of games. So one of the reasons as well, I haven't gone into detail about why I'm playing Florio Lancer. So Florio's in this list because we've got a lot more Cinder to spare now, and I feel like there's a lot of good ways to spend it, especially in this list with a few activated abilities. But Florio is still the best in my opinion. 3 damage AOE every single turn, really hard to avoid. So we're going for an amazing looking Astra over there. Now we can go for even more Cinder. Escape Hatch, which will be Florio in this list most likely, or we could go Stasis Field and Ion Storm. I think this looks a lot of fun. Let's go for this. So who is it going to be? It's going to be Florio or Switchback. Yeah, that's great. We're on board for this. So we're just going to grow Cinder just out of range of us, and to be honest, just move back slightly out of range as well. We're not doing anything here. So let's look at, we've got Aurelius, who is level 100 with the... Oh, that reminds me of those, is it drumstick sweets you used to be able to get? I love the effect they've got, going half pink, half blue, like perfectly down the middle. That's really well lined up. It's a bit more effort than you might think for something that's just 2 colours. So I like that. I'm going to just be showing this off. And also, level 100 is mad. Aurelius has spent a lot of time on this game. I'm very impressed. We are only level 20. There's a good chance that they're currently messaging me on the Discord, because I think this is someone that I've spoken to before on the Discord, but they're not going to get any response from me at the moment because I turn off Discord while I'm streaming. Oh, recording, rather. So is this going to be their Maximus play, or is this their Cinder Orb? If they place Cinder Orb here, I'll just try and poke it, but if they place it back here, I can't, so that's fine. Maybe they're going for the same sort of strategy as me and go for 2 2-drops rather than a couple of 1-drops. Yeah, they're growing Cinder. Okay. So, easy start for us. We can go up to 4, we can go for Tipu and just run in, but I think we're going for Taria, Arsenal, Deadeye here. So, Astra is going to be the one that moves up to here to take the Cinder. And then we can just play Taria, Arsenal over here. And Deadeye right next to her. Again, taking advantage of the... we don't have any line of sight there, no. Taking advantage of the cover while we can. And this is putting a lot of pressure onto Aurelius. So wherever they move, they're potentially taking 5. They can move back and hide. They can just take their Cinder back, play their own couple of 2-drops. But next turn we've got Cinder Infusion, which is probably going on whoever we get off of this. I kind of hope it's Florio. If anything, whatever we're going to do here, I'm going to activate Escape Hatch before doing anything else this turn. Also, I really like the way this lines up with 2 2-drops into Axl Pyro or Toxoid. This is the sort of thing I really enjoy about the new bridge format, as we can actually plan turns ahead. So here we've got a couple of 2 2-drops. That's what we're going to do almost every single game, and then following it up with either some strong 3-drops or just full-on banking 3 Cinder for the following turn and playing a 5 or 5-drop. I say 5 or 5. We've got one of our 2 5-drops is what I meant to say there. So this is going to be a hard decision for Aurelius as to what to do, because we've got the aggressive positioning here. But I think it's very likely that we're going to be playing out something powerful here. Hopefully I want to be playing out Axl Pyro, although Axl is only 6 wounds, 6 life rather. So they've got Taria, Arsenal and Deadeye. So we can get line of sight onto either. Taria, Arsenal is the back one here, so we're actually just going to go for it. Taria, Arsenal can just give Seize Initiative to Deadeye. Hang on, can we not get line of sight onto Taria, Arsenal? Oh. I thought we had that line of sight onto that unit, but we don't. It's the line of sight through it is disrupted. Okay. Interesting. So we're just going to go for the big hits here. Missing that is somewhat brutal, so we're going to have to go for the best line of sight we can, which is -16. Interesting, so we don't have a good line of sight here. This was probably a mistake. Okay, we've got that, which makes up for it slightly. Yeah, maybe we should have just seized initiative. We're going to move up here. We're going to escape hatch first. Cinder Infusion on whoever we escape hatch. Switchback, which is good. And then we're going to grow a Cinder just back here again. So this wasn't actually a good turn. In theory, we should have been able to kill one of these, but we didn't kill either. So now they can kill one of ours. So that actually worked out well for them, not well for us. Oh, we should have just thrown a pot shot with Astra as well, but we didn't. You can tell I'm sort of still feeling out the game as it currently stands. It's interesting that we've got exactly the same starts here. There's no difference whatsoever. We got the initiative, but they can actually kill either of these probably quite easily. We would most like to have killed Taria Arsenal there, but I thought we had a shot on it. It turns out we didn't. So that's actually quite a big difference there. We will, however, be most likely trying to kill her next turn. If Deadeye survives, we'll be using Deadeye on Switchback. If Taria Arsenal survives, we'll Taria herself and then go over this way. And next turn, I don't even know what we play, or if even we go for our Cinder Sphere. It might not even be necessary. If they come out this way, I think something's going on with their assists here. Ooh. Okay. So they're going to have to go for... They're going aggressive here. Are they going to use their activated ability as well? They are. So if they miss... Yep, they can get Astra and get Astra to move again. Yeah, this is what we thought. So not good that it happened, but we figured it probably would. But Deadeye has lived, which is actually what we wanted here, which is strange. Normally it would be Taria. So we're going to move over here. We're going to release Ozos on Switchback and then switch it up. Switch it up. There we go. And kill here. We're then going to just move into base contact to immediately take this out without any risk. We'll throw a pot shot here, which I don't think is going to hit, but that's fine. We'll take our spare Cinder. And then what we're going to do is play Axl Pyro over here and probably just grow another Cinder over here. It's just free to do so if you're safe. So this is a really solid spot to be in. There are things that can come out of nowhere with Astra, but I feel like we're in a good spot. We've got you. There we go. We had enough units on the battlefield. We had good follow-ups. So GG to Aurelius, or Aurelius, or however that's pronounced. I've just realised I've pronounced it twice in the same video in different ways. I will be looking over that game again, because I think that was a really interesting start. It just didn't go to plan. If I were them, I think I'd have focused on the Deadeye over the Taria Arsenal, even though I could be wrong on this, but only because I knew that I wanted to bring up Switchback and then use the Deadeye to go ahead and make that guaranteed to hit. Whereas if that wasn't guaranteed to hit, it could have missed, changed the whole game from that point forward. So that was a really good game. Really high level opponent. So absolute props to them. They've done really, really well there. I think that was a very close start, especially seeing as we started the exact same way. Their positioning was also really good because I wanted to take out Taria and I couldn't. I had to go for Deadeye and I also failed at doing so because of exactly how they positioned. So really good game there. Okay, so that would be us. We're against the Zax. Oh, nice. Okay, so what have we got here? Escape hatch and lifeline, medical recall and corrosive. I mean, I haven't used corrosive in a while. Let's try this. Medical recall I think is good with Astra as well. It's something I don't use enough of. So I'm okay with this. And we are against Da Lobster. Love that name. Okay, yep, they're playing safe, and hopefully they're not going to play it. Oh, they're playing a 1-drop, that's fine. I was going to say hopefully they don't place a mine, but yeah, they'll play Maximus. Where are they going? That's a very far forward placement. So I think, again, we're just going to be hiding back here, trying to avoid line of sight and placing a Cinder Sphere. What we're actually going to do is we're going to go here, basically down here, because we want to make the Cinder Sphere up here and make it harder for them to hit us with it. Harder to hit it, rather. So this shouldn't collect it on us. I believe it's just out of range. Perfect. Okay, so got their little Maximus here. They've got Zax. No paint schemes yet, but I'll be honest, I didn't do much painting whatsoever when I first started on this. I also love this little option. See people coming along. I love the way the models move. I love Maximus's little walk, actually. A little like boop, 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 boop. And he has got line of sight of us. Perfect, he missed. So we've actually got potentially... Oh, they can place in front of him. The large base 2-drop, that's got to be Beatris, right? So this turn, because they've played Maximus, we're actually going to be playing Beatris as well. So we'll throw our range attack out there. Ooh, we got it. Beatris is going to be plugging this little gap here, and we want to make it so that there's not an easy route out. We'll move back, and then here we'll place Taria Arsenal, again safe, because she offers the most damage potential next turn. This is a good start. With Taria Arsenal and Corrosive, we can potentially just kill Maximus outright, but we're probably not going to do that, because if he's in a vulnerable spot, we can just do that with these two anyway. Yeah, we take our one here. Now, where's Maximus going to go? So this is one of the things that I like to do with Beatris, is position her here, because now this whole breach of terrain here makes it almost impossible for Maximus to get out and do anything. So we can basically move this little wall wherever we want Maximus to not have line of sight, and it almost brick walls him a little bit. So here we can't do anything about him, but what we're likely to be able to do... Okay, they're playing a Furia. So we potentially could kill Furia here. And that's exactly what we're going to try and do. So Beatris is going to move down here, because I think we have to go for this. I think we'd be making a mistake not going for it. So we're going to just place this on both. I don't think it really matters, because we're not going to be doing too much there. We need to basically be as far back as possible here, because we need this to hit. It does. And then seize initiative on ourselves. Try and kill Furia. Perfect. And then we're still going to grow a Cinder back up here, because this just gives us more resources next turn. So, excellent. We take that as a win. I think that was a really bold play by our opponent, but they just need to play it defensively. They could use Maximus to try and just sort of keep us defensive, and they could have just played Fury at the back and kept us a little bit more honest even, because if we know that Fury is coming, we have to be careful. We have to watch everything. Ooh, Switchback. Get a Switchback profile. Yeah. Oh, I don't think I've looked at Switchback that closely. That's horrific. Okay. That is not what I was expecting that to look like. That's not quite what... Yeah, that's taken me aback a little bit. Not the profile picture I was hoping to open. So because that was such a quick game, we've got one more attempt at fitting this in. So it looks like to me, Astra's still really strong, but it's not as much about the sort of the Cinder and that sort of thing. You're just getting value every turn. It's about getting 2/2 drops down really early and applying that range pressure. And it sounds like, obviously that's a big deal, but in other lists you can already play Maximus into one of these 2-drops. So it's absolutely not just a one-time thing. Okay, so we've got 3 options here. Vortex and Disruptor's always entertaining. Ion Storm and Stasis Field is good. I think we're probably going to look at the double movement and just see if we can have some shenanigans of that. It probably means that we're going to try and play Beatris quite early on. We are against the Lobster again, so we're just going to do the same thing. Grow a Cinder over there, and just move ourselves to where we're not in range of it. There we go. So hopefully our opponent enjoys this game a little bit more. I do think the last one was probably very close to game over. And what we're going to do is we're going to use these two probably in conjunction with each other next turn, because we don't want to be letting Maximus get free shots off. So we're going to basically do this next turn. We can go with Tipu, which would also be fun, but Taria Arsenal and Deadeye is such a good early combo. And again, Taria Arsenal being the one that's more protected is what we want. We actually are taking that trick from Araleus, because that's what they did, and it worked out very well indeed. So that is, absolutely the right thing in my opinion. Next turn, we're going to be trying to basically take out Maximus with the 3 units. He's got a lowish hit chance, but not impossible. Yep, so he can move back again. That's fine. We're going to be pulling him out of his little hidey hole, probably along with something else if they play it. And just basically going for kill the Maximus early on. They played that correctly in my opinion. It's probably Taria Arsenal is going to be their their 2-drop here. I think Taria is the 2-drop of choice personally. Okay, I'm glad that missed, but I'm not surprised. Okay, or they are saving up for Furia again. Could be the case. If they save up for Furia again, then we probably save one of these two and just try and take out Maximus with other means, so we can take out Furia the next turn with the same means again. We won't have Corrosive, so we can't do it in one go. But if we can get another unit out, potentially. So, where does Disruptor get us here? Yeah, Disruptor is good. Is there any way of getting him back? No, so let's just Disruptor this. We can... Basically, what we're going to try and do is actually see if we can cheese a crit out of this. Okay, we can't. Because if we've got a guaranteed crit there, we'd just go for it. But we're going to seize initiative here. And go for this. Astra's going to move over here. And we're going to grow a Cinder back here again. So, oh, we got a pot shot. Okay. Didn't even look at the percentage. It missed. That's fine. So, personally, I think these two are actually the go-to 2-drops for most games. It's only when we really need Beatris that we're going to play her out. In this game, because we knew we'd have the pressure and they were moving Maximus up here with these two, we're playing that. And it's also harder to, basically, on this sort of area of the map, if we'd have moved this way, I'd have probably played Beatris and tried to use Beatris and the visibility terrain to block off Maximus. So here's probably going to be a Furia. Oh, Escape Hatch. That could be a Furia as well. Defense Dome. Oh, so they are going full Furia combo. Okay. Now we know where we are. So we're going to basically give Furia a free unit to kill, but we're going to pull her out of the Defense Dome. So she's probably going to be able to kill one of these. But next turn we can pull them out, deal a bunch of damage, and maybe even get to a point where the following turn we can play Tipu. Yeah, here she is. Throw your shot out. It's all 0%. So she doesn't take any damage here. So, oh, that doesn't take her out of the dome. Will this take the dome out of her? No. Okay, so this is a fun game we've got coming up now. It's probably going to be Florio Lancer this turn in this case. And just try and get some shots off if we can. We can get some okay shots, nothing great. So, in fact, I almost think we just let them have this. This situation, and we just take our shots and leave. So they're 0%. We can get shots off here, but again, there'll only be 1 damage. So what we want to do is get shots on the dome. Let's pull something out of the way. No, we can't even do that very efficiently. Can we get Zax up? There we go. So that's what we're going to do here. The reason for that is so we can get unobstructed shots over here. Another unobstructed shot this way. And then we're going to play Florio Lancer just over here. And we'll grow another Cinder. Okay, so we're doing okay here. We've now got a little cycle of having each turn will have some disruption effect. So the chances are we can stop this before it really gets out of hand. Yeah. Disruptor's the one we want versus this as well, because, ooh, interesting. So they're going for the hit rather than stacking it up. If they do this and miss, though, that's really bad for them. Because then we are probably just going to be able to start bombarding things. This is about where they want to go. We will, however, be disrupting here to push this away so we can figure out a way to get a line onto Furia. 50-50? They missed. Okay, that's really good for us. That might even be the game in this case. It's only Deadeye, not Taria, but it's still a big deal. It's not what they wanted to happen. It's what we wanted to happen. So this next turn, there's a very reasonable chance that I push them out of the way with this, send 2 lots of shots here and try and take it out alongside the Florio. Ooh, Stitchy McPatchy, okay. Yeah, Axl is just going to go take a shot. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so if we want 6 Cinder for this, and we've got 7 total, so we don't really have much to spare. Okay, they've got Taria Arsenal as well, so what can we do with the dome and these? Can we get any good angles onto things? And we could just push Furia this way and Taria that way. But we need to make sure Furia gets out of there. So it's this angle here. Alright, so Furia's out. So we're going to seize initiative here. We're going to release Ozos on ourselves and just get that no modifier shot off here. We will go for this shot here, and if we hit this, we did not. That's very unfortunate. But we're still going to come in here and use Florio Lancer to bombard these 2. And then probably just move over this way a little bit. Because we have got all that movement for next turn if we need it. That didn't go to plan. We missed an important attack, but we're starting to deal with the situation that we need to. Next turn, we really only need to get 1 hit onto Furia for her to die. So even in the dome, we can kill her unless Stitchy also manages to heal her. So it's very possible this moves down, Stitchy heals. But we're trying to just... So they're not... Oh yeah, they can't stand still, because if they stand still, she dies unless she sits in the dome. I'd be almost tempted to go sit in the dome. Yeah, they've got the hit. Okay, so they're going for killing our units rather than anything else, which then I think means that we can start getting value out of things like Tipu next turn. Maybe not next turn, maybe we need another turn, but I think we probably can with Vortex Beam. Not if they move this. I was hoping they'd move Taria. Okay, recall. Interesting. And then can play her back again. Okay, this works. We can heal here. I think we're in a bad spot now. I think the Lobster's going to take us down this time. So we're probably going to have to just start launching things with Florio and try and take down the defense dome before the next recall comes in. But also that can lead us to kill Taria as well. Oh, they're not playing Furia this turn. I just assumed they would be. Yeah, this is fine. So, how far can we pull things in which direction? So who have we got left? It's Deadeye, Taria died. So, Florio just needs to move up. Do we think we could get a Tipu thing going? Do you know what? They don't have much damage out. I think we could get Tipu going. Let's try it. Let's into the breach. Play Tipu. Run Tipu. In fact, yeah, run Tipu up here. Probably here, in fact. Just vortex the 2 of them together. And let's just start growing Tipu. Taria Arsenal can just shoot here. Sorry, not Taria Arsenal, Deadeye. And then we'll just hide back here a little more. Get our hit with Astra. And we're going to... Oh, we've already moved, so yeah, call this a day. So, again, they've got their reinforce here. So they can start doing things that are scary to us, basically. But as it stands here, I think most of our things are relatively safe. Oh, the crit on Zax there is pretty unfortunate for us. We can still get Tipu into him next turn, I believe, but they might just be bringing Stitchy out. Or, oh, placing Jailbreak, maybe? Whatever this is, there's a good chance it dies. Oh, it's just a mine. That's fine. We don't mind growing Tipu on mines for a while. What's this going to be is the question. We can also just use our movement things to throw Zax into his mines, which is also quite likely. Ooh, Beatris, okay. So the fun thing with Beatris is just throwing her away from anything relevant. Shrapnel, okay, so they've gone all armor. There we go. We're starting to see where this is coming in now. There's not many good lines for them. We're going to keep growing Tipu. Tipu's going to be a force to be reckoned with here, in my opinion. Oh, the crit, no. Okay, maybe Tipu's not going to be a force to be reckoned with. Maybe Tipu's dead. I was not expecting that at all. So, what can Tipu do? We can do 2 and then 3, so that doesn't do anything to any of those. Honestly, we might just need to run away from things here. Or just... What if we went like... this? This works well. Because Tipu can get some damage in. I don't think we're going to be able to save him, unfortunately. Yeah. Tipu's just going to get some damage in here. We're going to get Deadeye shot in over here. We'll get Florio to bombard this. There's not much for Astra to do here, so I think we just actually... We either grow Cinder or we play Axl Pyro. I think this is an Axl Pyro kind of situation, maybe up here. Yeah, I think so. And we'll just throw a range attack in case we crit. This can just move over here. We just want to keep moving into range with Florio. So this isn't too bad. They can kill this with anything, basically. Tipu did okay work. It wasn't... There's a pretty bad series of events there, so... We actually both have the same number of units set. They've got 2 and 4, and we've got 3 and 3. But theirs are all on the battlefield, but their captain's losing health rapidly. But Stitchy and the Defense Dome are still over there. So they're very tough to kill, but I think the problem is they don't have that much damage. So what we want to do is basically just start finding ways to deal damage to their units faster than they can to us. Axl Pyro should help with this. It doesn't do anything versus the armoured units is the issue, but it hits multiple units at once, and if we can complete... That's an interesting choice. Okay. So I think Switchback needs to come very soon, but I don't think we want to into the breach him. I think we just want to take it easy and then just get to a spot where we can start killing a unit basically every turn. So we might even just be running away here for a turn because they haven't played anything that causes long-term threats. Okay, yeah, so this is here. This is fine. Honestly, I'm almost tempted to just group it all up and see what we can do with a bit of AoE. Can we get... We can get these in. So let's just start doing this. We'll bombard everything we can here. We'll get another bit of AoE in here. Let's go with, what have we got on the bridge? We've got Beatris still, so... Did we place an orb? No, we didn't. So we can pop up here and just get a shot off on something. None of these will take damage except for Stitchy, and we can't really get to the back. Astra doesn't have a point of attacking anything. So what we'll do is we're actually going to go over here, and we're just going to play Beatris right into their front lines and see how this goes. Because this makes them a lot more at risk. If Florio's still coming in next turn, they can only heal so many things. They've got medical recall in the ditch, escape hatch, whatever. Again, I'm not sure that's the right thing to be healing. This is dead, obviously. But we knew that when we put that in there. We're just trying to get a big bunch of AoE damage done. Yeah. Oh, in fact, what else do they have to kill it? We're going to just disrupt this back and shoot again. They don't have anything to kill Deadeye quite yet. If we can kill the dome, I think their plan falls apart. They've still got Florio, but we've got Switchback. So we are playing probably... I mean, we could even just Toxoid. If we can get Toxoid onto here, that would work. What have they recalled? Oh, Stitchy. Okay, sure. So if they can't kill Axl Pyro, that's really good for us. And this is just a mine? Sure. Pull us all together into a mine that doesn't explode yet. And shrapnel gets a shot. Sure. So, do we have lethal here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Possibly. So let's go for this. Because we just need to get these all away from each other a little bit. So can we get line of sight? We can. So Ozar's herself and hit here. Beatris and Force I can just punch here. Oh no, she killed my own unit. Oh, what a spanner. I think we should still have this. Astra can just finish this off. But that was comedy finish there. There we go. Thank you to Lobster for a couple of games. I'm sorry the previous one wasn't quite as insane for you. That was very good. I feel like a Furia back here somewhere could have just been ticking up again and taking us out. I can see what they were trying to do. I've tried a very similar thing before, so absolutely good game. Really enjoyed that as well. This list has felt very powerful. It might even be that Astra is still the top tier captain in the game. So I think this is a functionally a very good list. Tipu died, I think, was it 1 or 2 crits? Either way, it was a really big swing for Tipu to even die. Had Tipu lived, I think we'd have been in a great spot. And if it wasn't for the armor build, then Toxoid, I think, would have done really well there as well. So I think we had a lot of tools to deal with. We didn't even bring out Switchback. I think this list is just very, very good. I think for someone wanting to sort of climb ranks, given what I've played so far, this is my favourite list out of the ones I've played for actual just competitive play, because it gets these 2/2 drops out so early. You've got potentially 6 damage on the board plus your captain, and then you've got the Beatris if you need to play that defensive build. I'm not even sure Beatris is necessary here, because the only thing I can think of is that she's good versus this. So if your opponent plays this out, you can play Beatris. She takes 3 damage rather than 6. She's lasts for at least 2 full turns. So that's one of the reasons I can sort of see playing that style. Still playing all 3 of these, even though we didn't really need her this much. So all in all, probably my best list so far in this new meta. So really glad to have played it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the games. I want to thank you very, very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I read all of it. I check every single notification on my phone, and it really does, boost my mood. So please go ahead and do that. I really appreciate it. And other than that, have a good day.